If you want God to bless anybody, just hate the person. Hate the person. Fight the person. Anybody you gang up against, God supports. One of the easiest way, if you really want to stop people's blessing, leave them alone. The day you start gang, because God hates conspiracy. When you gang up wanting to pull somebody down, you have taken the position of God, and God does not share his glory. God will make sure he frustrates you, so you do not take the place of God. Joseph had a dream, and the Bible says that dream waited for many years, 13 years. He was 17 when he had the dream. The fulfillment of the dream was at the age of 30. Look at Joseph. Anytime Joseph see that letter called P, Joseph is angry because that letter P frustrated him. That letter P reminded him of the prison. It was P that was the prison. Letter P reminded him of the pit. It was P that was the pit. Letter P reminded him of Potiphar's wife. So anywhere you see letter P, he is angry. But little did he know that in P was prime minister, in P was palace, in P was Pharaoh. Your problem is your promotion. Anytime, can I shock you? If you are going to be rich in life, there must be a stage where money must first punish you. Anything you are bankrupt of today is what you will have in abundance tomorrow. The proof that it will be in abundance is it's always initially very scarce. Anything you have in abundance starts with scarcity. Your story leads to your glory. Your battle leads to your mantle. Your trial leads to your triumph. Your test leads to your testimony. Your ridicule leads to your miracle. So it doesn't matter what you are going through now. Have it at the back of your mind. Anytime God shows up is the best time. So don't be discouraged that you've been asking God to do some things and God hasn't done it. Don't be discouraged you have been waiting for some things to happen and it hasn't come. Your waiting time is not your wasting time. Sometimes, look at this. When they got to Jericho, Jericho was walled around, and the Bible says God said to the soldiers to keep quiet and to walk around. They should walk around. After walking around, they should shout. Soldiers are not trained to shout, they are trained to shoot. God said walk around. 6 days, walk around. And they kept walking around without doing anything. That was divine instruction. They were trained for combat. Walk around. And they walk around and walk around. On the 7th day, they shout. I expected the word to go down the first day. The word to go. There are certain things God wants you to learn in your waiting process. When God takes time to answer certain prayers, there are things God wants you to learn. There are things God wants you to learn, to look around, to understand that the arm of flesh will fail, to understand not by power. There are people that think to have a child, there are strategies. They do IVF fail. They do VIF fail. They do FVI fail. There is nothing they don't try. Why? Because God wants them to come to a point when they can look up to God, when they can put their connection and their trust in God. That some of you have moved from one nation to another. You stayed in this nation, nothing worked. You left there to this one, nothing worked, because you thought the problem was in the place. The problem is not in the place, the problem is in the man. If the man does not handle what he should handle, he can move from place to place and nothing is working. Am I talking to somebody here? But when the man handles what he should handle, heaven opens. Anytime God shows up is the best time. Somebody called Esther. Esther was an orphan. An orphan. Hear me. God is working something for your good. I just heard that now. God is working something for your good. God is working something for your good. Joseph had a dream in his father's house. He was in his father's house when he had the dream. But the land space of his father's house was too small for the fulfillment of his dream. The location was so small and minute. So God took him to a place with land expanse of land called Egypt. But how will God take him to Egypt? How will he go to Egypt? I'm not sure Joseph had a passport. I'm not sure Joseph had documentation. So there was a man. He was the chief immigration officer. When they put Joseph in the pit, the chief immigration officer was called Potiphar. He was the one that bought Joseph, and he carried Joseph and put on a horse. It was the chief immigration officer that bought Joseph, so that when Joseph is passing through the borders, he will have no problem with immigration officers. So that when he's passing through the borders, they won't ask for his passport, they won't ask for his visa. He walked into Egypt a royalty. He walked in dignity because the hand of God was upon him. 13 years later, the dream of his heart came to I prophesy, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, I don't know the dreams of your heart, I don't know the desires that you have, but God sent me to tell you those desires will come to pass. Amen. Those desires will come to pass. Those dreams will come to pass. I said they will come to pass. 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 You don't serve a dead God. You serve a mighty God. He's the same yesterday. He's the same today. He's the same forever. When God says yes, no man can say no. When God lifts you up, no man can bring you down. God is on your side. Power is on your side. Glory is on your side. Somebody shout fire.